You're now listening to Box Power Sound.
Brought to you by Bel Air.
Welcome to Box Power Sound. We're here with Killa Kels. You already know what it is. I'm your host, Get At Cat, and this is episode 10, aka episode X. And we have a very special guest in the building. My brethren, the legend, Director X. What's up?
What up?
What up, what up, what up?
What up, what up? Box power, baby, box power.
It's awesome to have you here in the building today.
So welcome. This is our hub every Wednesday. We turn up. We have a good time. We put people on to all the new music and throw back some classics. You know what I mean? Get people vibing because it is a radio station. But you, as a special guest, we are going to delve into quite a bit of topics and a lot of things that we want to talk about. So we're excited about that. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. What did I do? Shit. I just got my son back, so kind of we're getting back into it. I went to Blue Mountain this weekend.
Yes.
That was pretty fun. They're still open there, so I got to sit in a restaurant and eat food.
Did you go skiing?
So that was exciting. Yeah, like normal times.
You didn't go skiing, did you?
No, I've never gone skiing in my life.
Okay.
But no, we just got drunk. Tried to tune into Versus, but Ashanti.
Yeah, so that got canceled.
Yeah.
It got canceled? Why?
It got postponed.
She got COVID. She tested
word?
positive for COVID.
Yeah, she tested positive for COVID, and they actually announced it 2 hours before when everyone's preparing.
Yeah, we were at the restaurant watching her live.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
I seen somebody say, I just ordered crab legs and lobster. Somebody's going to sing. People were getting prepared for that. Yeah. So it was kind of unfortunate, but I'm sure.
Ashanti's doing it with who?
Keisha Cole.
That's going to be a big deal, man.
Yeah. Just so many good songs under their belt. And I'm sure everyone just kind of did their own Versus thing on their own.
Yeah, but it was so disappointing.
I kind of just played Ashanti songs and then I played
It's crazy
Keisha Cole
that
back
Versus
and forth.
We did a karaoke.
What it's become. Although I do miss the original Versus where there's just IG live with each other.
Yes.
That's what they wanted her to do, but
she wanted to to.
Yeah.
Now they got the whole thing. They got the whole set. They got
that whole setup.
They're too far. Like the Jeezy and Gucci one, they're just too far away from the camera.
Yes.
I like the beanie. The beanie one was. They're right up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Same room, but they're right there.
With all the technical
issues. They know, because,
Jamaicans
know a real sound clash.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a real sound clash.
That one was the one that turned Versus into a whole other level. That took it to another
Which one?
It really did. The Beanie Man.
And Bounty.
Oh, yeah.
The police 100%. Showed up. Are you crazy? And they said, get out.
No, that was extremely entertaining. I couldn't believe how entertaining it was. And I was like, okay, they need to step their game up for every Versus after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, but the first one I think that I tuned into was the Teddy Riley. It was Teddy Riley.
That one was a mess.
I didn't even watch that one.
The biggest mess ever.
Because he tried to do too much. The original Versus was dope because we was all in the lockdown together.
Yes.
What did he try to do?
He had a
whole
DJ set up and it was echoing and
from home. Chill. Yeah, it was from home, right?
He had some sort of setup there where lights, cameras, DJs, live band.
And Breon was in there dancing, and it was all just.
And everybody was probably connected to the Wi-Fi. So
when the Wi-Fi ain't working, it don't work.
Yeah. So speaking of which, have you ever worked with Ashanti or Keisha Cole in any videos?
Actually, yeah, I did. Ashanti, I was doing a video for Marshall. We went to Carnival.
Right.
And I did a little something, a little easy thing for them for the road. I don't know if you saw that one.
I actually saw you guys. I didn't see the video, I don't think, but I saw you guys.
Remember, with those stories. My stories,
It was with Ashanti, right?
It was Ashanti, yeah.
They were Pond Road.
Road.
I did see that too.
Thick and lovely. My stories were lit.
One
thing I never thought I'd be doing when Ashanti first came out would be winding her up on a float in, you know what I'm saying? In Trinidad.
Like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And then for Keisha, that was with Sean Paul. Remember they did for the original Step Up movie.
Right, that's what we were talking about last week.
You did that video?
Yeah, the two of them. I did that video.
Oh yeah, weren't there? That was in.
It was a dance rehearsal.
Was that in Toronto?
No, that was in LA.
Oh okay.
That was So what's the boy's name? He how am I blanking on his name? The big movie star who's in Step Up. Channing Tatum. There we go.
Yeah.
He's in that with his before they were married. His wife though.
Oh,
They in
sick.
there. Yeah, they in there.
That was definitely a song for Keisha Cole that we were like waiting to hear though, like the Sean Paul song for verses too.
Well, speaking of that, a legendary video, Pondy Replay, that was in Toronto, correct?
That's a Toronto video. I did a lot of videos. I brought a lot of videos up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I carried
Anytime I see a local dance hall, I'm like, ooh, there's probably some Scarborough girls in this.
right? You know?
For sure.
Yeah, rapping.
Yeah, it was when the city was beginning to go, look, what's going on?
Right.
What's
Yeah.
going on? It could happen.
Yeah.
That was
American girls,
Exactly.
I don't know if they could pull off the same vibe like
No,
that.
no,
Yeah,
no.
you got to bring it here. You got to
Toronto
bring it
played a
here.
big part in the reggae. I mean, I don't think there'd be Sean Paul without Toronto.
Right.
You know what I mean? All that. Because they just
Brought the culture.
brought the culture, but with the sensibilities, there's something different. There's just something different that
Absolutely.
Toronto brought. So,
That
Toronto.
basement
Toronto
party
girls.
vibe. But I mean, so yeah, speaking of videos, we want to talk about Life is Good. Right
I'm
now
wearing- I'm wearing the
it is.
Life is Good.
he-
This is
yeah,
fan art.
X is
Epic,
wearing
epic
a fan
t-shirt.
art T-shirt, which is so dope. It's a GTA inspired Life is Good.
Yeah,
t-shirt. I think
we're gonna
that's-
post
that's
it up.
straight up
I'm in
merch.
here.
Like,
Yeah, that's the first picture I
love
saw.
it. I love it. So now Life is Good is the most watched video of 2020 worldwide. How does that feel?
Crazy.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
That's actually a huge accomplishment. Is that the first video that you've shot in your entire career that's been the most watched of the year?
No, Work From Home. Was,
Let's
for,
Oh,
Fifth Harmony.
yo, that's a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fifth
That was-
Harmony.
Okay, so this is nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Again.
Another one.
Yeah. But for this video, it's nominated for a Grammy.
Yep.
Okay. It is the number 2 best music video on Billboard. And along with Pop Stars, number 19.
Number 19 for
It
It should have been higher on the list. Pop
I
Star.
definitely
love
Pop
high
Star.
on the
I don't
list.
think it had enough
The
time to
video?
get
Right,
there.
right,
I think
right.
The video is what
Popstar-
sold me on that song, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So Pop Star would not be included or should be included in the Grammys.
I don't
of
know.
This year.
I don't know.
Because you did really well on that video.
Yeah. You know,
That was a great
we'll see
video.
what happens. But that was a fun one.
Super fun. But like, how did you come up with the concept like that? Did you just suddenly think, you know what?
No. That's Drake. So that's Drake. Like, yo,
Okay.
this is Sometimes Drake has an idea. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he knows exactly what he wants it to be. Other times, you know what I'm saying? So that one, he's like, okay. So he knew the opening scene and he knew he wanted Justin to be him.
Nice. And
then
you executed that.
I had to figure out what does that mean.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
yeah,
that
then-
was so
then he's me.
interesting.
Yeah.
And with the dancers and everything, do you fly dancers out for those type of videos?
Not
or
really.
You found them all
Not
in LA?
really. Yeah, you normally just doing local stuff, especially now with COVID. It's a whole other thing. But,
Exactly.
yeah, we don't do the fly out. I mean, I'll still fly. It can happen.
Want to?
You can
Listen,
I'm
fly
the
me
original
out.
flew out. I'm the original flew you
Fly
out.
me
man.
out.
Get flew out. It's,
Original. Speaking of OG,
Okay, flued out
I mean,
Poppy.
do y'all remember now? The Big Pimpin' was all Toronto gal. You remember that?
Really?
Y'all don't
wouldn't-
know that?
I
Y'all might be a
wouldn't have
younger
known because I was
generation.
too young, but I
Yes.
remember just admiring that picture with you, Bun B, Jay-Z. You're in the background.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was so legendary knowing that
Yeah,
you
that
were
squad
the
is
one behind that video.
It was
But I didn't know it was all Toronto
it was
girls.
the Shaw Claire crew. So when I did Shaw Claire and Hype Saw all
Really?
the girls, you're like, yo, all of them come out. So yeah, the Shaw Claire crew turned into the
That must have been extremely fun.
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy.
So while you're on set for things like that, which you're on a yacht, you're on the island, you're with Jay-Z, Bear Gal, like, are you able to have like a drink or two, or you have to be straight up like focused, working?
I mean, no one would trip, but at the same time, we don't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
Very
besides,
strict rules.
in Trinidad, we're all there together anyway. So there comes a time when you rap, and then
then you turn
then
up.
there's a vibe.
Right.
But yeah, on set is again, as a director, you get a little more leeway
Yeah.
to do whatever. But I've never, and I don't really. It just
Especially
it's
as
separate.
the boss, I feel like
Yeah, it's a
if
thing.
you get lit, everybody else is going to be like, okay.
Yeah. And
But the
then
crew
there's
would
a
stay. The
lack
crew
of
would stay
focus.
tight. That's just the crew wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
For sure.
you need to lead your crew. So there is a
Right.
level of how much they're going to work for a motherfucker that's
Right,
high and
right.
drunk versus the grinding out type shit.
And how is it working with Jay-Z? He's like my absolute top number one. So
Jay's
I
cool.
always have to
Jay's
ask
always
about that.
cool.
He's easy to direct.
Yeah,
Like, he
he's a
takes
cool
things-
motherfucker. He's cool.
Love
I
it.
mean, yeah, I've been working with Jay-Z for a long time.
Love it, love it. So I want to kind of backtrack now. Let's talk about Little X and what the guy that I remember, that's how I met you. You were Little X at that time. That's when you established your career as a director. And I think the first video that I remember you doing was Donald Jones. I think I don't know if that's the first
Where
one.
I Want to Be?
Where I Want to Be.
Ooh,
Yeah.
geez.
Classic record, classic video. Did it at Marche. Like, I was so proud. I was like, it's his ex. So let's talk about that because I want to know, how long have you been directing? When did you start? And how many years has it been?
Late 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Back when you had the China bumps?
What led you to that in the first place? Like, what led you to directing?
There was, so when I first, I mean, if you want to go all the way back, when I was a kid, I thought I was going to draw comic books. So when I was in junior high, in the first few years of high school, I thought I was going to be a comic book artist. Mm-hmm. Then somewhere along the lines in high school, I started drawing party flyers. I discovered graphic design. I did party flyers and logos, and I started messing with computers. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a graphic designer. So I went from comic books to graphic design. And then in my final year, there was a program called Co-op in Peel Region, a co-op program where you could do, basically your internship and you get credits for it.
Right.
All right. So you did 1 day in school and 4 days at work. And I was also writing and performing poetry in them days. Mm-hmm. Wow. So from my poetry thing, I managed to get into much music. That guy. So some people knew me as a guy, he does poetry. Some other people knew me that I drew, whatever. The big message is you do what the fuck you feel like doing, y'all. Don't get too caught up in what's going to lead to
the
where.
box.
Do what you want to do.
Facts.
So I did poetry and I drew pictures and I was going to do graphic design and the stuff. Mm-hmm. So the poetry leads me into much music. And while I'm in much music, I line up the co-op program. I line it up to do co-op. So while I'm in school, I'm doing 4 days at Much Music.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
As an intern, yes. And while I was in Much Music is when it got me interested in filmmaking.
Right.
I'm looking at the camera and the lights. I'm like, oh, this is creative. This is art.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I could get with this. And then I went down that road of hunting that down, which is a whole other journey. But that's the initial, like, oh, this is interesting.
And that's what led to you being mentored by Hype Williams.
Yeah, not so quickly, but yeah, that was the beginning of me even wanting to
get there. Right.
And then I started looking. And then right around that time, not long afterwards, there's these videos coming out, and you could just tell there's something different. They just looked good. They just looked better. They felt right. Like there's just something about these videos.
Smooth, clean.
Yeah, there's just, what's up with
borders,
this? Yeah. The first time we saw Letterboxd, we're like, what's going on? Yeah. And that was Hype. That was Hype Williams. So I saw an article about him in Vibe magazine, and I hunted him down.
I must say that's really good to know, because back in those days there was no social media or ways to
there was no
show
Google.
them
Right.
resume.
So
no
what do you
Google.
mean?
So
hunting
how
him
did
down?
you hunt him down?
Yeah.
How were you able to get a hold of him?
Well, I'm not telling the whole because you know what, man?
You
y'all
did the footwork.
Not even that. Y'all got to figure this shit out. But part of this is getting in. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't. I didn't bump into him and say put me on, or I didn't. Because I see a lot of weak hustling.
Yeah,
I see a lot of weak hustling,
and that's why we want to get your input, so people don't do that weak hustling.
Yeah. And you're not hustling adding me.
Yeah,
you're not hustling DMing me and saying, "Yo, get at me."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to give, because if that's what your level of hustle, I don't want to give you the clues.
For sure,
you need to be figuring this shit the fuck out.
Absolutely,
you need to figure this shit the fuck out.
Absolutely,
and that just ain't it, because it also is a level of, I don't know if entitlement is the right word,
right?
But yo, X, get at me.
Yeah. This is what I do. Yeah.
I got that.
We should work.
Let's work. Bro, this ain't. Come on.
I feel you.
Come on, think this through. Think this through. Really, what's going to? If you really want this, but some people are programmed that way, and some people aren't. And it's just, I don't know how to put it, but I put in a lot of fucking work. I had to do a lot of shit to get, and just to get. I mean, remember, I had a magazine. That was it. That was my Google was mail.
So that was your
I had the mail letters and
portfolio.
shit. I had the mail. I had Vibe magazine was my clue. I had a Vibe magazine with an article about Hype Williams, and with that magazine, I had to find him.
That's incredible. And I met Hype Williams backstage at one of Kanye West's show, and I was like, I've always been a fan of Hype Williams, but I knew that he was your mentor, and I brought you up, and he's like, Julian, if you're family, if you know Julian, you're family. And I was like, yeah, and he was super cool.
Yeah.
But tell us, what's one of the most important things that you've learned from Hype Williams?
I mean, it is family. Them guys treated me like family for real. Can I get a little more of this?
Yeah, of course. I want some too.
Yeah, let's sip. But so on an artistic level, the most important thing he ever told me was that the feeling that you suck is the enemy, and it's what you got to fight.
The feeling that you suck is the enemy.
Wow.
You have to fight that.
That's my next Instagram caption. Because I feel like a lot of creatives can relate to that.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, listen, not every creative comes out on some, I'm a genius, I'm a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Not everyone comes out.
And not all the time either.
And not all the time. I mean, look, even Kanye fucking, if you listen to his lyrics, the one of the lyrics, are those guys that much better than me? Right? Remember that lyric?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, so he wasn't always running around like, I'm a genius that sees sound as color. Like, he wasn't always that guy.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So fighting that is a real thing. Is this a shot or are we just sipping?
That's a triple shot.
Do you want to sip?
My hand is heavy.
Sip.
My hand
So then let's put more in.
My hand is heavy.
Let's pour some more so we could just sip. So we don't have to keep re-upping. So with all the videos that you've done.
He just.
No. You guys can't see this, but Triz has a heavy hand.
Jeez.
And
I'll be sipping and I'm good for the show. Sip.
Thanks.
Wow, I don't know if I want to give you my
with
cup.
all the rappers that you've worked with, a lot of like the gun violence and stuff that they talk about in their lyrics, you didn't glorify the guns, you didn't glorify that violence. Instead, you put a lot more girls and dancing and that type of stuff in the video. So tell us why that was important to you.
Well, back then, you couldn't do that. I mean, you couldn't even do a gun finger back in the BET days.
Really?
No,
so this is the 90s?
Well, no, it's 2000s. Everyone confuses. A lot of people confuse their 2000s with their 90s.
Right.
Because late 90s and early 2000s are kind of...
They just flowed
together.
Each other. Yeah.
Right. But, you couldn't even go like this.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Okay.
No.
That would get sent, or that would just...
You get notes. You would send your video to BET, to MTV, and they'd send back notes. Remove this shot, remove that shot, remove this shot.
So we need to go back to that.
Cheers. No, we can't go back to that now.
No? It's too late?
Before they never even used to talk about weed.
But what about things like Streets is Watching?
That was a different thing. That wasn't on television. And beyond that, listen, the problem with gun violence isn't because it's in music videos. That's not the cause of our
of course.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but no, it was good that you, regardless, you just put more girls, dancing
you say that's
vibes.
good. In that day, them people tripped out over that too. It's with all these girls. The girls are naked. Oh, the girls, and like so, everyone was angry.
So it's always been a sensitive world.
It's sex and violence are the two things that we have the most issues with, and the two things that we feel most naturally inclined towards. So that's
the truth.
You know what I'm saying? That's the battle. Mm-hmm. That's the battle.
So off the top of your head, can you tell us how many music videos you've shot in your entire career?
Nah.
Can we get a just like a
rough estimate. Guesstimate. I said 1 million.
Over 100, maybe 200. I don't know.
Jeez. And that includes people like Aaliyah,
Donald Jones, Jay-Z.
No, it goes. The list goes on and on and on. So with so many legendary like film sets, major artists that you've worked with, what's the most memorable?
I don't know. I mean, it's almost like generational, right? Because I've been around for different. I was there for You Got It Bad Usher. I'm 20 years plus in, right? Mm-hmm. I was around for beginning Drake. I was around, you know what I'm saying? Like all that
classic.
Kind of
and I love the throwbacks that you throw. Keep putting those.
The throwback Thursday. You know whose idea that was?
Oh my God,
Karina Evans.
Brilliant.
Karina told me, you should do this every Thursday.
Brilliant.
We got to talk about that too.
Yeah,
that relationship.
No, that's good. See, when you have a good woman in the back,
on your team,
then
you guys gotta listen.
Those great ideas come. But shout out to Karina Evans. But yeah, those throwbacks, they definitely need to keep happening because it's a reminder of
BTS
how
too is
today's
great.
Wednesday, right?
Ill.
Yeah.
How ill. And it's like every time I see it, I'm just so proud and so happy. Like, yes, because these are the things that we would see like crazy on BT. As soon as you come back from school, it's on TV. Like, and this is a friend that, you know, shot this creatively. He put his mind to it and he put it out there and executed it. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I love to see the BTS posts too of the throwbacks. Those are amazing.
And so do you have a preference when it comes to the work that you do between music videos, films, commercial? What is your
No, there's no preference. Each one has its own thing, right? So you appreciate it for what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So commercials are more about executing someone's idea. Television is about you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've just got a different, each one has its own expression.
True.
So you appreciate it for what it is, you know?
Yeah. But you've probably done more music videos than anything.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Which is great. Like, you've contributed so much to the culture, and it's just...
That's what I love. The music videos it taps you into the culture, makes you, you know, you're beyond your own relevance, but you're a little more in tune with what's going on in the world, you know what I mean? You all know you're in the music side of thing, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So how many of your friends have just kind of aged out from what the fuck is happening, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, what? Huh?
Yeah, so that's the
Right.
thing. Like, did you have a love for music? Is that why you transitioned?
I didn't come into I came into this on the visual side.
Right.
It wasn't, I mean, I loved hip hop. So that was obvious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, I didn't grow up in music, wanted to make it. It wasn't like that. It was always the visual side of it.
So tell us some stories. I want to know something on set that you've worked on, that something crazy that might have happened that's so memorable and that we need to hear.
I mean, I don't know what the story, I mean, I do remember, like, you got it bad. Usher and I just kept getting fucked up. Like, we just injured ourselves constantly on that. Yeah,
Why?
he pulled his arm out of his socket. You know when he grabs, when he pulls on the thing and he swings around the pole, his arm pulled out.
Wow.
He got injured doing that.
I
burnt my hand on a light. I fucking twisted an ankle. Like, we got damage on that.
God.
Guys got hurt bad.
We got hurt on that one.
So you just kept having to, like, so when that happened, he had to get hospitalized?
No.
Or no, he kept going?
We kept going, yeah.
You pushed it back in?
I can't remember how, but
I'll push Usher's socket back.
Yeah, we fixed it up and kept it moving.
And you kept it moving? Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, that's a good story. That's
Honestly.
actually, like, that shows a lot of hard work. Like, some people would probably be like, okay, let's wrap up and, you know.
No, we just keep going. Especially back then, we didn't stop. I was legendary for not stopping.
Hey.
What's the longest set that you've worked on?
26 hours.
26 hours. And what was that for?
That was Jae Millz in Jamaica. Remember that? No.
Wow.
Dugga.
Shout out Jae Millz, man.
That one.
I fuck with Jae Millz.
What was interesting for that one is we actually shot. So if you ever see that video, that is the door. So the video is that he goes to Jamaica, he gets picked up, and he goes to see the Don. And he goes, and then, right? That street that he's on, that is the Don's house. The door he knocks on. It was basically, they took me to meet the Don.
Really?
So I just took my meeting of the Don and made it the video. Like, yeah.
You couldn't do a fake Don's house in Jamaica. That would be
Exactly.
I mean, it was
respect.
it was serious. Like, you couldn't. His street was blocked off. They had barricades on either side of the street. They had outside his door. There's a TV with cable. So just a bunch of people outside the door watching TV, playing games. Like, it was some other shit. Yeah, man.
26 hours. So that was like on a Young Money budget.
It actually wasn't a lot of money. We just like I said, we just didn't stop.
People must have been wilting.
Yeah, it was
the
also
crew wasn't wilting at that point.
Jamaica. They're a lot more open and prepared for this type of shit. But it was
we'll do anything.
But it was a real fucking. It was a real thing. And back, those neighborhoods run different. That's like old school mafia shit. So the Don, you're not just the Don because you have a lot of money and you show off. Like, you take care of the neighborhood.
Right.
That comes with this. You know what I'm saying? You become your own little form of government.
Right.
And that Don was when he got arrested once. The story about him is that he was arrested, and people thought they killed him, and it started a riot. And there's 3 days they had to call out the fucking they had to call out the army, and then they brought him out. And so there's a mob of people out front of the police station, and they had to bring him out and him tell everyone to go home.
Yeah, they're like, he's alive, guys.
Yeah.
Like, show us our leader.
Yeah,
It's different. It's different over there.
Wow.
So tell us, like, how was it working with Aaliyah? Because that was obviously a classic video. Aaliyah and DMX, just crazy. Like, I remember watching that. I was so young. I know I was really young, but just knowing that, like, this stuff is coming from a Toronto guy that's, creating these things. How was it working with her in terms of like direction and just...
She was great. I mean, she was great. She had to leave in the middle of the day. So there's these photos of her at a photo shoot. No, sorry, at a record signing. She had to go back to Brooklyn, and we were in Yonkers. She had to go all the way to Brooklyn and do this fucking signing. So she was wearing the outfit from the video. So if you ever see these pictures of her with the bandana, the outfit she's wearing when she's with the dog down the street, there's a bunch of pictures of her at a record signing. Yes, the brown bandana. Mm-hmm. That's because she had to leave and go and then come back from that shoot.
Bless her.
One of my favorite videos, one of my favorite songs.
For sure. Crazy. For sure. And wait, that was on a soundtrack, right?
Was Romeo Almost Died.
Yes, Romeo Almost Died. We were talking about that soundtrack
Joel
the other
Silver
day.
produced movie, and then Joel is the one who produced Superfly. So how's
okay.
that?
Wow.
Yeah.
So it came back full circle.
Came back full circle. The thing I remember most on that set was we're shooting something in the stairwell. There's a scene where she's in the stairwell performing. Mm-hmm. And, we're doing changing a lens or whatever. So she's sitting on an apple box by a door.
Right.
And some kid opens his door. Aaliyah's literally right in front of his door.
Oh, you guys didn't even tell the people that you guys were shooting outside their damn house?
They knew some shit was going on, but we're in the projects.
I would have opened that door so quick.
That kid opened the door like, oh my God. And she just kicked it with him for a second.
She just seems so angelic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. All right, so you want a craziest occurrence story? So the craziest occurrence on any set was so it's early 2000s this is when the Fugees were hot, Busta Rhymes was hot, Loon was hot, right?
Love that.
Ooh,
era.
not Loon. Loon just got out of jail. Just saying.
Loon, yeah.
And he looked good.
This is when Loon was popping.
Love that. Era.
So he sends me a track to do a song. We're going to do Pussycat, and then the Pussycat remix.
Okay.
So someone I decided this is around the time. Remember those big video cameras with the big lens that everyone had? It had the flip out thing. Mm-hmm. So the video cameras were getting kind of good. And I go, yo, I could make a video with this. I could do a video. They're like, all right, so we're going to do this video with these video cameras. Mm-hmm. And I say to my producer, who was an inexperienced producer, well, since we're shooting with these video cameras, not film cameras, we're not doing all the normal stuff we do, we don't need permits. He says, okay.
Is that real? That's not. Okay.
Oh, no. You need permits. So we decided to shoot on a Friday night at 144th and Broadway in Harlem.
So that's very expensive to work there, or you need?
No. You need permits. Well, okay. This is a story of why you need permits. It's more than the money to be there. This is Harlem. This is not before gentrification Harlem.
Okay.
So we're at 144th and Broadway. So this is a major. That's like being like at maybe Young and Eglinton. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so uptown.
It's uptown, but it's still close enough to that downtown would feel.
Young and Eglinton, right by the police station.
Right. So, but this is 144th in Harlem, and we're shooting in front of this movie theater. Mm-hmm. And I come and I see all this writing, like he's put on the movie theater awning, Wyclef, Busta Rhymes, Loon, Pussycat, Remix. Right. And I didn't know he was going to do this, but he bought all his cars. So now on a Friday night in front of this fucking movie theater is a bunch of fucking, like there's a monster truck and a Bugatti. There's all these vehicles. And
super hot.
So, I mean, this doesn't happen in Harlem. Like, what's up?
And around those times.
Around them, yeah.
Bugatti?
I mean,
come on.
Yeah, like what is going on?
Yeah.
So they pull up in a G-Wagon and we open up the back door and start to play music. And they start to perform. Within seconds, every kid in every building around the area leave their building and flood the streets.
Yeah.
That just reminds me of like 106 in Park, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It reminds me of like that early 2000s time
where
like you just see the kids in the block and like everybody's just running in the bike.
It was still New York.
I loved it though. I actually fucking loved that time, that era. But that video got released.
Yep. At the end, you can hear the kids, Harlem, Harlem. You can hear them chanting. You can see bits of it when they're in the street going crazy.
You got to throw that back tomorrow.
How about the throwback?
Yeah, just add it on the throwback tomorrow. Right. Wow, that's actually crazy. What was Loon in jail for? The funny thing is, I didn't even know he was in jail.
Drugs, I think.
Just moving drugs?
I don't even know. All I know, he came out with a salt and pepper beard, and I was like, okay, Loon.
You know who he looked like? He reminded me of the that Australian or something actor, the UK actor.
Idris?
Yes, Idris. He looked like that because of his beard with the grays, the salt and pepper.
I don't think they look alike, but they both cute.
I felt like he came out looking like that.
Yeah, they're both good-looking guys. But shout out to Loon, because I'm a bad boy era girl. So.
He was a good artist. And the thing is, he always had that. I feel like Puffy always looked for that same sound between Mace and him.
Yeah,
they have that same sound, right?
Yeah,
was that the
Playboy,
that
smooth
chill?
Playboy shit,
yeah. And then even after Biggie, Diddy got Shine, and then he had that other random artist, and they all sounded like Biggie.
Yeah, Shine really sounded like
interesting.
Biggie.
Yeah, so he always kind of chased that same sound because he knew what worked, right? What Diddy videos did you work on?
I mean, I've known him forever and ever. I did Black Rob videos.
Yeah.
I Dare You was the video I did for Black Rob. I did the video for Total, sitting at home.
Classic.
I did a video
Keep
for
going.
an artist named Jerome that he had, this little kid artist he had named
I remember that.
Remember that one. 112, we of course did the Peaches and Cream. Then I did G-Dep, Black Rob, and Diddy for
The Harlem Shake. Let's do the Harlem Shake. That was when it came.
That was the
Shoulders.
one that was the one that bust the Harlem Shake. That's what changed the whole game.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Major, and you just had that clean, like black and white vibe.
Yep.
And how do you come up with these things, these creative things? Do you sit there and just start writing out while listening to the song, or do you have like a team that works with you?
I don't know where that even came from. You just kind of, I don't know. You just listen to the record and just start churning out ideas until you figure something out, whether it's going to be a visual thing or it's going to be a conceptual thing. You just, you know.
And so did you ever end up going to school for this stuff, or it is all School of Hard Knocks?
School of Hard Knocks.
Wow. I love it. And I remember one time at Garden, I think it was like 2010 or something, you drew me. I was sitting there. We're eating after the club. You know, always
Garden, is Garden still around?
No.
Okay, so Garden's a Chinese restaurant, y'all.
Yeah.
For those who
Hung
don't
Shing,
know.
though. Hung
Shing is the new wave.
Well, Hung Shing was the first wave. Then it went Garden, and now it's back up Hung Shing.
Yes. But I remember that time, and I was
big
sitting
up Hung
there.
Shing, by the way.
We were waiting for the food. Yeah, big up Hung Shing, big up Colin. That's family right there. So I'm sitting, we're waiting for the food, and then he passes over a napkin and he drew me.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, this is sick. So when you come up with ideas for your videos and stuff, do you draw it out or do you write it out?
You draw it, you write it, and each one's different. Sometimes it's a picture, sometimes it's a reference, sometimes you're writing it. It's just however it comes. So there's no set way, you know?
Cool. Well, let's drink a little bit more and let's play some music for everybody who's listening. A lot of hidden gems that we're about to drop. So
what do you do for the people watching when you play music? You just sit here?
Oh, the people aren't watching live; they're listening live.
They're listening live,
and then we put the visuals out live. Yeah,
we're not in the
okay.
Our time.
Yeah, I see.
No, we can't be having them watch us live too. That'd be a disaster.
Unless we get people like Revolt involved. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the goal.
I'm gonna have to fix up before we get watched live.
So we're gonna get into this new song. It's called FYT. I love this song. It's actually a remix, not really a remix, but they're sampling the Biggie and R. Kelly record.
Who?
It's Jeremiah, Ty Dolla $ign, and French Montana. That's one of our favorite records, like of all time. You know, Biggie and R. Kelly. You must be used to
but
be standing.
We don't need to play it.
I thought she was gonna sing the
and
new
all
song.
that sweet whining and dining. Sing it.
I'm fucking you tonight.
Let's go.
My diamonds glisten. I don't talk, I listen. I learn new things. Fuck the cool thing. Too much drama for my mom.
We're right back with it on Box Power Sound, episode X with the legendary Director X. Mm-hmm. If you're just pulling up to the party, we've been talking about a lot of the classic things that are videos and creatives and film sets, everything that X has been involved with. A lot of stories that people don't know. Y'all all his sons, okay? Mm-hmm. So many stories, and we're very blessed to hear, the insider of everything.
Honestly.
Which is crazy. But let's talk about some more current things. where, you know, we've been faced with a crazy year this year, COVID. Well, let's say it started off with Kobe's death. And then it went on to trickle down to everything bad, which included COVID. Tell us about what you've been doing in quarantine. Have you been in Toronto, LA?
You know, I did quarantine like we all did quarantine for those first few months when we were all just at home. And then as things started opening up and production got back to going, you know, I got to hit the road and go start working again. So
that's when you went back to LA to start working,
and all that stuff. Yeah, you know, film production. Very lucky to be in a business that's still working, still going.
And broadcasting.
Thank you, Jesus.
So when you were in quarantine, there were a lot of things that you were doing. You were in Toronto, right? A lot of things that you were doing on live, IG Live, things you were talking about between the gun violence and our environmental things on IG Live. How was that? Like, were you kind of like consumed by what was going wrong with the world and then, you know, trying to express it? Because you are definitely a prophet. That's what I consider you as. And you're important. You are necessary. People need to be listening to you and hearing you out. So tell us about how that was during quarantine.
Well, the gun violence thing that we've been working on for now we're in our second year. So that's an organization called Operation Prefrontal Cortex.
Right.
And that really gets into the brain. And, this city's going wild, right? We've got a lot of violence happening over here. And when I really started asking why, what would make someone pull out a gun at a party and shoot?
Right.
What's going on in your head? That's when I came across a bunch of information about childhood abuse and neglect and what that does to the brain.
Right.
Or even beyond even that, the type of brain to be that violent. And when they looked at it, they found that people who are violent and aggressive, their prefrontal cortex, which is the decision-making part of your brain, was too small compared to the average person. And the amygdala, which is the emotional control, was too big. Okay?
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, well, what does that? So I see that study that says, and then I read another thing about childhood abuse and neglect. Children that are abused and neglected or neglected. So kidding your kid and ignoring your kid does the same thing. Okay, and it damages their brain as it develops. So their prefrontal cortex is too small, their amygdala is too big. Okay, so there's a pretty easy connection, and we can all understand how that could being abused and neglected could put you in a place where you're more violent and aggressive, where you snap. But then there's another thing I found about stress, what stress does to the brain, and stress shrinks your prefrontal cortex and enlarges your amygdala. So again, it's clear. So if you're stressed, if you've been abused, if you've been neglected, they all put you in a place where your brain is more susceptible and you go to violence and aggression much quicker.
Is that stress, when you said the stress part, is that with kids or is that with adults too? Is that
just period.
Oh, okay.
Period. So adults, so that, you could grow up in a perfectly loving household and then go get a stressful job like become a cop.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And those kinds of things. And then as well, stress hardwires in your fight or flight response.
Right. And so you want to encourage people to meditate in order to help almost like not cure, treat your brain.
Meditation changes your brain.
Right.
Meditation.
It changes the size of those two things?
Yes. Meditation gives volume. It makes your prefrontal cortex grow and you makes your amygdala shrink. So the exact opposite of the effects of all these things. And when they brought meditation into violent places, it changes it completely. So one of the most violent prisons in Mexico, they had a riot, just one riot, where they killed 44 people.
Jeez.
Right?
Like inmates?
Inmates.
Killed each other?
44 people dead from one riot. Okay?
God.
So when they brought in a meditation program to the inmates and the guards, they haven't had any extreme violence since.
Wow.
Right.
Because there's no, I feel like with jails, there's no rehabilitation. It's a rehabilitation center. But there's no rehabilitation.
It's a punishment. It's brushing people away. And it's backwards.
Absolutely.
It's backwards. And, so our Operation Prefrontal Cortex, our mission is to use meditation to reduce gun violence, mass violence, police violence, right? We need to be in schools.
Exactly. And that's actually one of the questions that my sister, Cher, had. She said that she made this point that in Chicago, Chirac, they started to put meditation into high schools.
That's amazing.
Implement that, and the rate went down the crime rate went down significantly in Chirac. And I know that the initiative that you want to do here is get like an OG to come down and kind of talk to the youngsters.
There's a few places. We need to be in schools. We need to be in the community.
Right.
We need to be in the jails. We need to be in the streets.
Right.
In the streets is when we need the OGs to come bring that in. We need to be in the police force.
Yes.
Okay. This is all no-brainer stuff, and this is what the science backs up. And
exactly.
It's very, very hard to move these things through. The city moves very slowly. It's a lot of bureaucracy and negligent.
Crazy.
Well,
it's like
what I wanted
if you do the research and you know this,
it's all science, it's facts.
Yeah.
These aren't things we're debating anymore.
Meditation's amazing. I meditate.
So how close are we getting to getting John Tory to doing the same thing in Toronto to actually implement these things? Not close at all?
No.
That's unfortunate.
Of course it is. But
because I signed that petition.
I know.
I'm always supporting
I'm about to, in the new year, we're about to put some pressure back on people.
Yeah.
But it is,
we have to.
We have to. And it's a thing. Like, it's a real thing. It's frustrating.
Yes.
To know this. I mean, even with the police, they should be meditating. It should be part of what they do.
100%.
There's still people.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, but this is a whole. This is the battle that we are in.
Yes.
Because it sounds like meditation. What the fuck that going to do? Little do you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, it's truly like really, really, really helpful in your life. Period. Even if you're not like part of the gun violence or like
everyone should be meditating.
Everybody should be meditating
in every aspect for sure. And I want to say something, it's kind of like funny and off topic, but I remember going to your place with a couple of my girls. We were really young back then. Well, it was like 10 years ago. And we were getting ready to go to a party, and you tried to get us to meditate beforehand, and we couldn't. We really were struggling, and we were laughing, and we were just like...
Y'all were lit already.
We were peeking, like we were opening our eyes and going, you know? So I remember that. And that was so like almost 10 years ago. And, you know, I've come a long way since then. And I can understand your frustration at this point because it's so hard for people to delve into that, you know, that deep thought and all that stuff. So
it feels silly at first.
Yeah.
For sure.
So tell us about how to kind of just even start to meditate.
I mean, look, there's so many apps. There's so many. You go on YouTube and Google guided meditation. There's apps, Headspace, there's Calm, there's all these different apps that do this stuff. And you can find, it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all. I'll tell you, go to YouTube and save yourself any of the, and put in, you know.
Yeah. I do 10-minute meditations with my son before sleep. And
apparently you're not supposed to stop your thoughts. Is that
I don't know about
correct?
That.
It's not a matter of stop your thoughts. So look, I'm putting guided meditation.
It's really like everything else too, but like you're not going to get it the first time. It feels silly the first time, but it's like you have to practice meditation, and like you're not just going to get it from like that first YouTube exercise or whatever it is. But like, YouTube.
You just keep doing it because it's more than just it's brain exercise,
right?
It's brain exercise. So the same way you go, you know, do whatever, go to the gym. This is the gym for your brain. And it's just important. This is how you relieve the stress. And the meditation I do is about visualization and manifestation. So if you really want to get into it, the ability to help manifest your goals, visualizing goals. So you get into you're right. So the meditation that I do is
next
that.
Level.
It's next level stuff. You're calming your body, then you calm your mind, and then while you're in this calmer state of mind, then you begin to visualize your goals.
Right.
What do you know what I'm saying? And regardless if that helps them manifest, where I learned that meditation, they're like, this is a hack. This is how you hack the universe. And kind of, you know what I'm saying? But even if it doesn't, visualizing what you want to do with yourself is very important. This is key, man. Everyone should be meditating, and we're headed towards this place, especially kids. If you got kids, you need to get them kids meditating. It will change their life, the way they do in work, how they do in school, how they do in everything. It's life-changing.
So with operational prefrontal cortex, how can you get more kids involved? Because I definitely think that it's necessary. Do you guys have well, obviously with COVID,
we're working on programs to make it easier for the community. So we're working on things to make it accessible for people. Yeah. But part of it is just getting the message out. And like I said, YouTube, guided meditation for kids. Guided meditation is
free.
YouTube is free, and just go and start doing it, man.
Yeah.
And when did you start?
I've been doing this.
Or what brought you to meditation? Like who brought you?
When I heard about, so I don't know how I got this information about this dude who's saying, oh yeah, that same thing. If you can hack the universe, basically.
Yeah.
If you meditate and get to this brainwave, then you can, when you visualize, you're kind of tricking the universe to give you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, okay, let me try it. Shit. That's it. If this is a universe hack, let me go for it.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's what got me doing it.
And that was like how long ago, roughly?
10 years plus. Oh, wow. Just a little over 10 years ago.
After going through, so many years of just hustle and bustle and the industry.
That's the thing. You so need that for your mind. You so need that. You need to calm your mind.
Especially now. When I first started out, we used to wild out and yell and scream and tantrum. Kanye and Damon, you know what I'm saying? And everyone was just wild. We're just a wild out industry.
Right.
And back then, you could do all that shit. You can't do that now. Mm-hmm. You think you can walk on? Try that.
It's a cancel culture now.
This is cancel culture. Oh, yeah. They'll cancel you.
Yeah.
You run around yelling at people?
Right.
Nah, son.
We all have trauma, too. So.
Yeah, we all got issues to fucking fix our shit up.
For sure. But no, it's important because I have a niece and nephew, 15 and 12, and 13. I want to get them involved in this. And my sister Cher, she's always on top of this, always trying to get them to do it. But it's almost like impossible. So we're really trying to do something that's impossible. We're trying to make that possible.
Do YouTube, share.
YouTube. There's kids.
I've been meditating with my son for the last couple of days.
Yeah,
this kid falls asleep, before sleep too, and it also talks about what are you grateful for, throughout that day. There's so many things. 10 minutes, and this kid knocks out a light. The next day,
no, he doesn't get outraged with when he doesn't get what he wants.
He gets distracted. But also my son has ADHD, so that's also really super helpful. But it's definitely something that you need to start with your children to get them on it, because it's just a gem too. I wish I discovered it much earlier.
Kids that meditate, the studies where they show kids that meditate in school, their marks are better. They make better friends. They do it keeps going on. And for the fact that this information's out there and our school system has not immediately made this part of what it means to go to school, it's fucking criminal in my opinion.
It truly is.
Absolutely. So one point that was brought up is that a year ago we were talking about this, and Baka, who's an OVO artist, he actually mentioned that it doesn't work for street kids. How can we change that?
I mean, you just got to find one that meditation works for everybody. There's no special
Baka, do you meditate? Baka, come up here. Do you meditate? We're gonna do it. When Baka comes up here, we're gonna do a 10-minute meditation with Baka. Yeah,
meditation works for any kid. It's just finding the one. It's working with a kid or finding the proper one. Mm-hmm. And as well, there's also, so we have these kids that we're training, and there's trauma informed meditation, right? So you do have to acknowledge that kids growing up in certain
levels to the
kids
shit.
Growing up in some neighborhoods are growing up in war zones, literal war zones.
Yeah.
So gunshots, bullets through windows, things like that. So it's not you can't just just do the meditation for kids, like they're dealing with other stuff, but there are meditations and training to deal with that. So meditation is again, push-ups work for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. Meditation is good for everybody.
Absolutely.
But you have to acknowledge that there's some kids coming out of very extreme situations. Right, that it's not just so you can't just tell someone close your eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's just saying they don't trust.
It takes
the world
practice too. Like with this in this generation. Oh God, I feel old just saying that. This generation, you expect things right away. And it really does take practice, Yeah, when I started, I thought it was stupid too. And like I'm opening my eyes to see if everybody else's eyes are closed, you know, in the room. But it really does take practice like anything else that you do.
So there's a meditation that was happening before at my in-laws. And they were saying like, I feel like you're a seaweed. And so is that like they, and then everyone, I peep my eyes and everyone's going like this. And I couldn't help but laugh, right? So people are swaying.
That probably worked for one of them.
Yeah. And so everyone's serious and they're swaying left to right. And I just was like, oh, let me just go take care of Rory for a second because I couldn't stop laughing. Is that part of the type of meditation that you do when they say to do that? Okay. That's
it
what
probably
I thought.
worked for one person because sometimes when I meditate, I'll sway. It depends what the meditation is saying and the music behind. Like, it just depends. But like at the end of the day, it's like breathing and clearing your mind and being grateful for like what's like being present.
Calming the mind and then finding. You have to find what works for you. So it's not like if you get on YouTube, the first one you find is the only. If you don't like it, find it. Try it out. Just try a bunch of shit. Try something until it lands with you.
It really is a hack.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Crazy. You know what I found worked for me? It was something that was like a frequency with like sounds, and there was no talking, but I was completely relaxed. I was in like a good state of mind, and I think that worked for me. It didn't have too much talking. Like some of the talking can be a little distracting and even scary. Like
you might not even like the person's voice. Like you just got to pick another one.
Well, here's the thing. You find a meditation that works for you.
Right.
With the person guiding it. And then after you've done it enough, you don't need the voice anymore. You can do it on your own. And then you stop listening to the guided meditation. I don't listen to there's no one guiding my meditations anymore. Yeah. I'm doing, but the meditation I learned is from a guided meditation.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the one I have my son do.
So how
you're
important...
saying you'll just, sorry.
Go ahead.
You'll just do a meditation like randomly, you're saying, or like...
No, so the meditation I do is what I learned was called the Silva method, and I mean he goes even deeper than it was a little culty. He's like, you could change your hair color, make yourself taller, you can manifest your dreams, you can cure diseases. Like he goes.
I'm gonna meditate a booty.
Yeah.
You ain't going to Brazil.
So he does all that. He's doing all that. So I tried the meditation, and the meditation itself is a solid meditation. I mean, I wear a brain thing that reads my brain waves when I meditate.
Wow.
So I know
that's next level.
It's next level. So and it tells you if you're active, neutral, or calm.
No
you
way.
Want to be calm. So I've done meditations when I've been 99.
What is that? It's a thing you put on your head?
Yeah, it's called Muse. And I've done. Sometimes I put on my score. When I get like 99% calm, I'll post it.
You need to get that
99% calm. I've never reached that in life.
You need to get that ambassador deal. You need to get that ambassador deal for Muse.
I do, man. But I'll be putting that up. So I know this meditation works. But like That's saying, you go through this process where you're calming you start with your, think about the top of your head. Tell it to relax. Think about your forehead. Tell it to relax. Think about your throat. Relax. You go through your body, your chest. Relax.
When I first really believed meditation,
you have all full control.
Yeah, it's when you could literally get rid of like pain and tension in your body from that. That's when I was like, yo, this is really a hack for real. Yeah,
it's a body scan, and then you calm your mind, and then you visualize.
Mm-hmm. So how important is the vibrational frequencies? So listening to these particular sounds.
I listen to music. It's not, you don't have to. But look, sounds affect us. It is what it is. That's why I listen to soca music when I do my walk in the morning, because it makes me move faster, whether I like it or not. Right? So when I do a meditation, I put on, there's an app called Endel, Endel, and it has these like meditation sounds.
Shit, let me type these apps in.
Endel,
this is
Endel.
I'm about to start breathing right now.
Right. And then they even have settings, like I can set it and go for do the meditation setting. This is the meditation setting.
Put my voice
I put on headphones. Mm-hmm. I play this music, and then I do my meditation. And I go all the way. I have the sleep mask.
Okay.
I put the sleep mask over my eyes, so I block out all the light.
Do you lay down or do you sit up?
I sit up.
You sit up?
Right. Okay. So that's, there you go. So that's what when I meditate, I got it's a whole kit I have to have with me.
Think about what you've done today.
And what's a good amount of time for meditation?
I mean, you
for
start
the average
with
person.
I would tell someone, if you're just starting, go for 5 minutes. And then for 5 minutes, go for 10. And then from 10 minutes, go to 20. And then, you know what I'm saying? You just keep.
5 minutes feels like forever.
I do,
when
I
you're
do 20
just.
minutes. Yeah, I do 20 minutes now.
So how effective do you think marijuana is when it comes to situations like this? Because no, let's be real.
Actually, marijuana does not calm the mind.
It doesn't.
Said,
Okay, no,
so what about
weed?
She said, what about ganja?
I want to know.
No,
so
when I remember one day I did my meditation with the brain cap on, and it told me that I had been calm for 1 minute, for 20 minutes, and I looked at it. My brain was active the whole time
Because you smoked.
I had smoked the night before.
See,
smoking calms you though.
It might calm you,
but it's
the
not
brain
the
is going.
same thing.
Your
Yeah,
brain
it's
is
just
going,
not the same
sure.
thing.
No, the meditation is to calm the brain. This is brain
So you
exercise.
wouldn't suggest to smoke marijuana before trying to meditate?
I would not.
Okay.
Not. I mean, look, people go get your Muse headband and see what happens.
I feel like marijuana would be better for creativity, right?
Depending on the person. I mean, marijuana is different for everybody.
Yeah, right.
Like, for me, weed does the opposite for me than it does for most people. Right? I lose my appetite and I'm awake.
Me too. Ding, ding, ding. I thought I was crazy. People were like, how could you lose your appetite? I always lose my appetite.
Same
off
for
of
me.
marijuana.
Yeah, I just think that when you introduce other things to
munchies.
meditation, maybe you just like it's hard to focus on what you're actually meditating for.
Yeah.
Right.
Your brain starts to.
go
I mean,
different
weed
ways.
gets your brain going. At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Play your music. Wear your little
Try it
eye
sober
thing.
first.
Try it sober
This
first.
generation too, a lot of people are sitting on their phones and they're on Instagram till 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and or possibly thinking about every mistake that they made in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
I think that's this generation. They do that a lot.
Yeah.
So
all the more reason. Look, I've woken up some days and just felt great and just anxiety. And after my meditation, it's gone. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even notice.
Yeah.
It just dissipates. This is a great way to get control
right
of what's going on
Very
with yourself.
important.
It's very important.
very
Very, very important.
Going back to the putting that into schools and stuff, and you saying that that's like very far from us, because that to me is like crazy too, having a child that's in the school district and like we so need this.
Yeah.
But why do you think that it's that difficult?
The bureaucracy of it, and people are skeptical, and it just seems like meditation equals better marks in school, more friends. What? I don't get it. Fuck that. I'm not. It's really frustrating to see that happen. Like I said, in my opinion,
in 2020.
my opinion, criminal that they're not doing it. My son, he was going to the local public school. I mean, we're at Finch and Bathurst, so not even like we're in some crazy neighborhood. You come home every day about these kids fighting. Like, and at first I'm like, oh, okay, a little see the world, little bit of scrapping at school ain't that big a deal. No, every damn day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up? What's up with your school?
Angry times.
It starts at home.
And it's just angry times. The things you
right.
see on TV.
Yeah.
Everything's so accessible.
These kids were jumping other kids. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
Younger
like,
and younger.
What the fuck?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Back in my day.
Let's take a song break and get some music and some vibrations going through.
Or we're going
CJ.
to some hype. We're going to hype stuff.
Let's just hype up the vibe. No, we could hype up the vibe with CJ and Whoopty. So let's play that and get a few more songs in, and then I want to talk to you about a lot of the environmental issues that we have going on, because we are literally we're renting our spots on Earth.
We're at the precipice of death, motherfuckers. All collapsing.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to know about.
We don't own
y'all.
this Earth. You know what I mean? We're literally paying rent to be here.
Especially in Toronto.
Shit ain't pretty.
Let's get into that music, and then we'll get right back with it. Episode X with Director X. Right here on Box Power Sound.
Loyalty over royalty. Y'all niggas know the vibes.
We're right back with it on Box Power Sound. If you're just pulling up to the party, this is Episode X with Director X. We've been talking a lot about his career, the beginning of his career, the legendary and classic music videos, film sets, commercials that he's worked on, as well as the initiatives that he's been working on to prevent gun violence and to meditate more. Just everybody learning how to meditate is so important. But in the meantime, we just want to talk about this this winter giveaway that we put together with the Closet Inc. And we have a winner. that
Who is it?
That wins Box Power hat.
Box Power cap.
Dope.
Yeah. They get the hat.
They get a pair of
and
shoes.
They get a pair of shoes, which are the Iverson Reeboks Superfly.
Boom, boom. Look at
Right?
those.
So
All right now.
we want to shout out everybody, and also a Cay Radio t-shirt. So we want to shout out everybody who joined the contest, who tagged their 5 friends, who followed the pages, and got involved with the contest and the giveaway. You know, we know it's been a rough year, and, you know, you might want to keep it, you might want to give it away as a Christmas gift, whatever the case is. This is all you. And the winner, this is a blank t-shirt.
It's a blank.
I'm gonna crop this video.
Congratulations.
It's okay.
Go screen print that, baby. Yeah.
The winner, here we go. The winner who followed all the contest rules, followed Box Power, followed Cay Radio, and followed The Closet Inc. is Nina Bakes. Nina Bakes at NEENABAKES. Nina Bakes. So she is the winner of this gift, and you know we're happy to do it. It's a merch.
What's
giveaway.
her name again?
Nina Bakes. NEENABAKES. So she won the Reeboks, the Box Power hat, and the Cay Radio t-shirt, the whole merch pack. So we're glad to give that out as a winter giveaway. We have more giveaways to do as well with Bel Air and a lot of really cool
Nina.
fly shit.
Okay,
so we want to
Nina.
keep everybody dripped up and draped out. So shout out to Nina. She is the winner of these.
You better come get this. If you don't
shoes
claim this,
and
I'm
hats.
taking it home.
Yeah, it's super
That's my
fly.
size.
It's definitely fly. I actually got a pair of these myself.
Oh no, those aren't my size.
I don't
I'll
have
still
Iverson,
take it.
so I got those. They're your size?
They're,
It goes with your outfit completely.
What size is it?
6.5 youth.
Oh no, youth. Yes, it is actually. So Nina, claim this.
This is the prize, and it is on episode X. This is a very special episode. So shout out to Nina for winning that. And we're going to get all our visuals. And yeah, so let's get right back into it. Nina, I'm going to contact you to make sure that you pick up your prize and pick it up here at the Cay Radio studio.
Or
So
it's coming home with me.
Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. And make sure that you look out for the other giveaways that we have planned coming up, because we want to do a lot more for the city and you know, give back as much as we can. So with that said, let's talk about some things with X. We want to talk about when he... or when did you kind of get more conscious of the environmental issues that we're going through right now, that the world is kind of...
I don't know when, if there wasn't a time where I said, oh, now I care about this. I don't know. I've always been a little aware of it all. Mm-hmm. But the average person really doesn't understand how serious this is.
Right.
I mean,
right.
It's this serious stuff where the planet is headed.
Mm-hmm.
We've broken this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There comes a point. It's like being a kid. If you view the planet as a body, a human body.
Right.
You know, when you're young, you could just break your arm and it would heal. It just
Right.
you just felt like you could feel. You felt like you could do anything, and you damn near could. Mm-hmm. You're growing, and shit would heal fast, and your metabolism. You could eat what you wanted. You could just kind of just wow the fuck out. And as you get older, you realize you can't do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys are getting old enough to now realize that pizza sticks around.
Yes.
It ain't like the old days. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're younger, you could just eat whatever you want. Nah, it's not. Now you're like, oh, the shit that I eat. And then when you get into my age, it's like, oh, that just don't work no more.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can't jump off of that anymore. It don't work like that. Mm-hmm. And the planet is the same way. We can't just, burn these fossil fuels. We can't just do this with the soil. We just can't do this with the animals. We just can't do all the shit that we're doing and think that the planet's going to be fine. We're not guaranteed. Science fiction movies and movies in general have got us all believing that it all just works out in the end and it's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
Which movies?
There's so many.
Not these movies. These movies are
all these movies
apocalyptic.
And then there's all the ones where we beat the aliens, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't talk to me about aliens.
We gotta we got a
We're gonna
real.
say that for last.
We have a responsibility to this planet, and we got a
Right.
responsibility to the next generation
Facts.
to get this thing right and to fix
Absolutely.
this place up. But part of this is that we have real, actual to God evil people that spend lots and lots of money trying to make you think this isn't happening, so they can make more money.
Right.
These are crazy people. You ever heard the saying, "A rich man will sell you the rope to hang himself with"?
I
Yeah.
haven't,
I
and
have.
that's deep.
Yeah.
Like that's actually very deep.
And that's the thing. They are spending money to make you believe that they're not hurting the planet,
Right.
so they can make more money, even though it's going to kill them too. They don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
super psychotic,
So-
actually, when you really think about it.
Yeah, and global warming is very, very real. I've been informed a lot by your posts, obviously with the things that I Google as well, and with Leonardo DiCaprio as well. Have you ever considered working with him and kind of collaborating with him on something like an initiative?
I mean, we've never connected like that, but if it came along, of course. But it's just more along the lines that we really have to see.
Spreading the word.
Yeah.
Spread the word
Yeah.
and realize, look, you got a whole battle to deal with because people don't even believe this shit is real.
So what specifically do you do? What is your stance with that, with the environment and rehabilitating the
earth? The
earth?
thing about the environment, this is bigger than what the work that needs to be done is bigger than you recycling your coffee cups properly. And you can't recycle coffee cups. How fucked
Right.
up is
It's
that?
garbage.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
It's fucked. But we need planetary movement. In the same way they mobilized for COVID, they need to mobilize like that for climate change.
Right.
And that's the one thing COVID has shown us. When they feel like it, they can get fucking serious.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's get that serious about gun violence. Let's get that serious about the environment. Let's get that serious. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of shit that we need
Yeah.
to get that serious
That's killing
about.
us, yeah.
That's killing us and killing our community.
Well, look at the
killing our kids.
influencers. You're an influencer, obviously, but there are so many other influencers, like I said, with Leonardo DiCaprio, people like Beyonce and stuff. Like, how can we get these major artists and influencers to start talking about it a little bit more? That way, the people can
it
follow
just gets
suit.
pulled into the zeitgeist, man. Some people have their thing. Everyone has their issue that they're championing, so that's what they champion. But at some point, the world clicks.
Right.
Like before George Floyd, you couldn't get a motherfucker to do post. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A black square if you paid them.
Exactly. And then for a
Yeah,
moment, that's
come
all
on.
anyone was. I mean, my follow. I was posting about
Trends.
a bunch of stuff on during the riots. I got like 30,000 more people started following me in that moment. But that's what I'm saying. In that moment.
yeah.
So that's the importance of striking when the iron is hot. And
Yes.
sometimes the zeitgeist just shifts.
Right.
Something can happen that just makes it all shift. Till then, you can get a person here, a person there. But when the shift happens, you have to move on it.
Right.
So when George Floyd happened, people were with it. And then after it died down, those same kinds of posts, I would notice I'd lose followers if I got political. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
you can see when people are in that space, they're in that space. And when they're not, they're not.
Yeah.
So you have to get them. You have to get them while they're there.
Yeah. So speaking of shifts, what is the polar shift? Is that something that is factual? That is going to affect our world? and
Nothing.
really-
The things that's affecting us is what we're doing. Right. You see what's happening is that the polar it's this, and then listen, man, stop. We're burning fossil fuels. The way we power our society and the way we eat our food is killing us.
Right.
Period. End of story. And that's what's got to change. And it doesn't take a lot to figure this shit out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All this other stuff is people. Listen, I come from hip hop. We love ourselves conspiracies, but all that shit is bullshit.
Right.
What is the first step? Say somebody that's like not environmentally friendly and aware of what's going on and has never cared at all. What is the first step that you suggest for someone like that to
make the
take?
change.
Yeah.
Google, read, man. Google, whatever comes to mind, just go down that rabbit hole. Because again, what's happening? You buying grass-fed beef is not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like listen, it's good.
I'd be great.
Great.
Grass-fed beef,
And you
like,
could, and you should, because it's better for you.
and
But
like free-range
what
chicken,
we're-
eggs.
Yes, all that stuff is better for you. But is that going to stop what's happening to the planet? No.
Right.
What's
So-
happening to the planet? We need we need planetary. We need COVID level
Right.
mobilization where these countries say we're not doing this shit no more. We're changing this. We're changing that.
Yeah,
A
and
real-
So how do we get involved with that?
That's what I mean with influence. Because look at what the big celebrities and influencers are doing to vote. When they're telling you, they're directing you to make sure that you do the right thing, and they did get the right thing done in the States.
But
so
listen,
can
man,
they do something like that where they get together?
People got to snap. Here's the reality: people need to take to the streets, and that doesn't happen until they snap.
Right.
One, it's just like with the George Floyd shit. Something happens, and people go, "What?" And suddenly the streets are full. We need on multiple levels. This isn't just environmental, economic, the whole world. This is why we're in this moment of change. Mm-hmm. This is what this is all about. What's happening with COVID, what's happening all the way around, that we need to change. We can't move forward this way anymore. So we're witnessing a moment of real change. I mean, you think shit's going to be better with Joe motherfucking Biden?
I wouldn't know. Like, I'm not really.
Let me tell you,
I don't trust any politician. To be honest,
the answer is no.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
He's just another.
But like, so sea levels are
man.
rising. Sea levels are rising as we speak. Is that what's going on? We've all been witness of the forest fires that are happening, the floods.
I've been hearing about all that for a long time.
But like, one of the questions that I've always had was, when the dinosaurs were here, how did they get wiped out?
The meteor that hit the planet.
So it was a meteor. It wasn't anything, because obviously they weren't ruining the planet. They weren't doing anything that us humans are doing right now.
Right.
So it was just a matter of just a meteor just wiping them out. And so I've watched movies. I've watched things that, the same shit's going to happen to us. So how can we fix up? Because we're not only
we're the meteor.
Yes, exactly.
The last time this many plant and animal species have gone extinct was when that meteor hit us.
Oh, Lord.
We are in the 6th mass extinction of plant and animal life.
That's so crazy that people would let animals just disappear off the earth.
They make money,
there weren't
baby.
even animals. These were massive.
But right now, as we speak, we are in the 6th mass extinction.
Right now.
Yes.
These animals right now, for us to have like all the resources we have in 2020 and for things to still be going extinct, like it is crazy. It's crazy, but it's just like
is murdering.
Just the same way we were talking about like kids being raised a certain way and having trauma. Like we were raised to eat certain things and use certain things, and recycling is like all that we need to do, right? And like now we're talking about compost, but it's like there's so many, like the clothes that you wear and stuff like that. So how, like, I'm just trying to figure out how everybody can make that shift now.
You got to educate yourself, man. Again, Google's your friend. Get on there. All the knowledge of mankind is at your fingertips, and start reading about it. But the change that needs to happen is a planetary level. This is bigger. Again, this is. I wish I could say take
these white politicians are not going to stop us from.
Which is why
doing
people.
certain
This is
things.
why people got to take to the streets. Which will happen again. You can't make them, right? You couldn't have organized the George Floyd protests. Sometimes some shit just fucking snaps.
Yeah.
Right.
But it does snap. And it snaps when you get into situations like this. Like the reason you get a Donald Trump is because you have a Barack Obama who says all the right things, but really, because you don't pay attention to politics, you don't know what the type of dirty shit he was actually doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's what happens. When your life doesn't get better, but the guy is still up there like, women are equal and all every color. Right. Everyone's equal and we're going to get along, but he's still but you don't see him joking you in your side.
Right.
That's how if you get a Donald Trump, that means
that
means the person who came before him was that Barack Obama shit. Talking good, but behind closed doors, doing the same dirt, right? But the next step after that is just people hit the streets.
Right.
This isn't me making shit up. This is how this works. This is how this goes. The French Revolution was a thing that happened. That's not a story.
Right.
At some point, people are just like, all right, so let's just kill all the people. Like, how about we just cut off Jeff Bezos' head? So, when you can't get any movement, when you just can't see life moving forward in any kind of proper way, people fucking snap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's when it happened. But like, does it have to come to a point where Miami is underwater? Where the sea levels are rising that much, and
for real,
it
really might.
You never,
and then people start actually.
There's no more animals when all their dogs, the luxury dogs.
When the oceans are dead.
Right.
Icebergs are melting.
Icebergs are melting.
No, the oceans are the acid in the ocean. There's scientists who predict that just
the water period is going to be gone.
All the animals in all the fish in the ocean dead.
Oh,
Yes,
Lord.
and I've been seeing that report about Miami
Yeah.
because there's close, right? Yeah. So what Triz was saying was that
What's
there's
the-
a
what's the
report
cause of that?
In 15 years, Bahamas is going to be completely underwater.
And what's the cause of that?
half of Bahamas?
That's from the global warming. You were saying,
Yes.
okay.
So that's actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. What can you tell us about today's climate, where we're at right now, and how you see us in 10 years? Like, where are we going to be in 10 years based on what we're doing to the earth?
Let's Google it. I'm telling you, Google is your friend.
Yeah.
Google not my friend in this situation. Google made me so sad. It's just so hard because like literally from what you eat to what you put onto your
Everything
body.
we do is a fuckery.
The clothes that you wear, everything is killing the earth. So it's just like me personally as somebody I'm still a participant in killing the earth. What do I do to lower my
Well, so well, that's the thing. There's individually, what can we do beyond the governments
get
have to take?
everybody
We need
else onto
planetary action. Climate change predictions, 10 years. How hot will it be in 2030? It estimates that under the current national commitments, an average temperature increase will range from 2.9 degrees Celsius to 3.4 degrees Celsius by 2100.
What?
It's gonna be hot.
Wait, yeah, so we're just going to burn in hell.
cat? Oh God!
Wait, we're not going to be here by 2100. But
No,
our
but
kids,
that's
and
so
our kids'
scary.
kids are going to be
It's
here.
going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
And
Is that why
that's
they focus on space exploration so much?
Listen, the space exploration ain't going to get us out of this. We're a long way away from
The aliens want nothing to do with us in the first place. I'm sure of that.
Okay, so let's
let's talk about the aliens now. Because,
I'm about to say, let's shift
because
gears.
They've, from what I know, that they've had over the years,
X is
have
ready.
had their
X is
yes. And let's
like
get-
he know them personally.
Okay,
Let me just
He
get
know
one
the
thing
aliens
out. Let me just get one thing
personally.
out. Over the years, there have been many sightings and movies and things like that of aliens coming down to Earth and then taking people into their spaceship and then analyzing the human body and anatomy and how fucked up we are,
I'ma hit you
and then
harder
just sending
than
us
that.
back.
I know so much about
I'm gonna
this
hit you
on the
harder.
low.
Some
Okay,
real
so
information.
a top government official from the Israeli government.
Yes,
He was in charge of their space program.
Okay.
He's the guy that put spy.
This is verified.
This is verified.
He's verified. Okay.
He put their satellites in space to spy on Iran. This is not a jokey guy.
Okay.
He said there is a galactic federation.
Yeah,
No, you heard this.
I heard this years
Yes.
ago.
No, he said this recently.
Yeah,
He
but I
wrote
heard
about-
this years
yeah,
ago.
He said there's a galactic federation of aliens out there, and that the governments are
They had a
speaking to
treaty
them,
together.
but they won't reveal themselves to
Yeah.
us because we're not ready for it.
I
the fuck are
know
we supposed to
somebody.
know?
I know somebody who's
So
been.
how are we supposed to identify who the fuck?
That's the
and
point.
what the fuck?
So I did a alien deep dive like before I started DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like over 6 years ago. Yeah, there was like a whole treaty with aliens and like certain governments for them to come and like friggin' abduct people and do
Yeah.
things like that. Like they had an agreement. I heard about this. Like
I mean, look, during the quarantine,
I know somebody
the
who's
New York
seen one.
Times have an article. The article name is "No Longer in the Shadows."
Mm-hmm.
New York Times, and a guy from the Pentagon was like, "Yeah, we found alien spacecraft not built on. We have found off-world vehicles not built on the planet
Yeah.
Earth."
Yeah, but
No,
how do
they're
you,
so-
how do you
they're
explain,
so existent.
How do you explain crop circles?
Hmm?
How do you explain crop circles?
You can't explain it.
'Cause that's-
They're above us.
It exists.
Kat.
This
They're
is the
above
thing.
us. The aliens are
I've
above
been saying
us.
this for so long, even with the
What do you guys want?
what about those like
That's what I want to know. What do you guys want? Like,
no, but
it's crazy.
Think about how vast the universe is, right? Because we are a tiny speck
Forget
in
the universe,
our
the
galaxy.
Just forget
Yeah.
this is how vast the galaxy is.
Yeah, exactly. So we're a tiny speck in our galaxy, which is amongst millions of galaxies within a universe, right? If not billions.
my head hurts. My head
Billions of
hurts.
galaxies.
Yes. Okay. So billions of
Galaxy,
galaxies within the
universe, same thing.
So how are we the only living beings? It's not. The math doesn't work. It's impossible that we are the only beings. So other people. Other beings or aliens or
do they call themselves people?
Are going to analyze how we got it going on. And literally as humans, we're all we got. But yet we're still here fucking each other up and killing ourselves and killing each other. And they're looking at us, I'm sure, like, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I mean?
I
like,
hope there's a
okay?
sub-alien species that's close to us that will feel bad for us and come and help us. That's at this point all we could pray for.
That's why I want to know, how can we identify who those galactic...
You can't, girl.
Unless there's one sitting in front of us right now.
Shit, I wish.
The Prophet X. His name is X.
Everything just seems to align. Everything just seems to align with X.
All these crazy music videos, he's above us.
We out of our depths with that shit. If they're getting over here, listen. The Voyager Satellite. You remember the Voyager Satellite? There's a satellite in space right now. It travels at 15 miles per second. Every second, 15 miles. And at that speed, it will reach the closest star in 70,000 years.
Jesus.
The closest star. That's how big, that's how large space is. Yeah. It is a massive...
It's still going?
Still going.
It's still going right now.
Yo, I should have just gone on that. And just been like,
yo,
deuces, yeah.
Good luck.
COVID deuces.
So if they're just getting here on a one-way trip, we're outclassed.
100%. That's why I'm like,
if they're going back and forth to their planet,
what do they want?
Yeah,
help us.
I think probably what we would want to explore, to study.
I would help.
Well, this is the thing, because there's a big percentage of humans that are just so informed, and they're very, like, they want the best for humanity, which is, like us and somebody like X. So how do we focus more on the people that want better for humans, human life, and just for the world as a whole, right? Like, how can we find that instead
you gotta find your tribe and move with them? There's just too many.
Right.
There's too many people in the world for us to, like, you see. Look, just on
send out a mass text or something.
Right, exactly.
Like aliens, send us a mass text.
As much as we're on this side, there's people who are on the other side who feel passionately
about making money.
Oh, just on this side. Look at all the Trump supporters in the world.
Oh,
they just
yeah.
Over the health of the planet.
They just see the other side of this thing.
Yeah.
So it is what the fuck it is, man. You got to find your tribe and move with them.
Right.
But we are the changes we need to happen on a, like I said, planetary level. This is bigger than,
you and me.
Recycling.
Yeah.
But that helps.
It definitely helps. Yes.
The recycling helps.
I think maybe that's the beginner stage. Hey guys, like,
but they've done some initiatives where they're charging you for plastic bags, which is like, okay, well, I don't want to pay for that, so I won't use it, right? So they're doing some initiatives,
girl.
But I truly feel that there needs to be a lot more that needs to be implemented, executed.
Yeah,
way bigger.
I took the plastic straws off my son's juice boxes last night.
Like,
right why now. Is there? Yeah, I brought paper straws today, but my son still, my son still uses plastic straws on his juice boxes. I'm like, why are these still here on the juice boxes?
It's like, yeah,
even that.
The thing is, there are so many initiatives to try to prevent these things, but it's not strong enough
because they make us feel good. But again, what we need to happen needs to happen on a governmental level in a significant way. But
absolutely,
our government has been captured by corporations a long time ago. So they'll do the show, but ultimately they do the bidding of oil companies. They do the bidding of weapons contractors.
That's why I'm scared of the COVID vaccine.
Facts.
Yeah.
But should we get into that after some tracks?
Yeah, after some tracks. But like, I don't even really want to get into it because at the end of the day,
are you taking the COVID vaccine, X?
Not right away.
How do you feel?
Exactly, that's my exact answer.
Oh, you go ahead.
You guys.
What if they tell you? What if they tell you you can't
Please,
travel? What if they tell you that? What if they tell you can't travel? What if they tell you your child can't go to school? What are you gonna do?
No, we have to figure this shit out. But man, listen. I don't trust
at the end of the day
at all.
If it takes like for a whole country
another year
to be underwater for them to wake up, It's unfortunate, but that might
haven't countries gone underwater already?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So
I think the Maldives are in big trouble already.
Oh my God, let me get to Maldives quick. Let me get to Maldives quick before they go under. We've been talking about this for so long. Maldives is gorgeous. Like the most beautiful islands and huts and villas on earth.
Make sure I come with you.
We need to get there quick before it goes under. So let's get into some music, and then we're going to wrap this up with the legendary Director X with Pop Star. The 19th best music video on the
Billboard's list. It was number 19 of best videos.
Yeah, you introduced it.
Here we go, Pop Star, DJ Khaled featuring Drake.
Bitches.
Aside from the fact that he is a good friend of mine and we've had so many fun times in the past, you have definitely been a strong force in this industry, in the world, and you have done so much to push the culture forward. Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to make sure that we touched on so much of the things that you've done in the music industry, because you have definitely shifted that culture. You shifted the culture in so many ways.
Added the visuals to the audio.
Yeah, and I just want to continue to see you. I want to continue to see you put those Throwback Thursdays out there so everybody sees it and everybody is reminded of
the resume.
How much of a goat you are. But such a good friend. Whenever I needed you, you were always there for the letters, the references. Always there, signed, stamped, sealed.
I'm gonna use X as a reference now.
Yeah, he's always been there, and for the fun times that we've had, the people that you've introduced me to, and the things that you've done for the culture of the world, and you continue to do, I want to thank you, and I want to give you your flowers. As long as you can smell them right now, it's well deserved, and. We appreciate you here at Box Power Sound, and we want to see you continue to do your thing. I want to see you get that Grammy in March, and keep being creative, keep doing what you're doing, and representing Toronto as you are, and as you always will. We love you.
Toronto gems.
We appreciate you, and I want to hear your outro right now on Box Power Sound.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see y'all. To me, you're the younger generation, you know what I mean? So... good seeing y'all come up and make the big moves, and it's the city, man. You know what I mean? We got generation after generation coming up. It's great to see each generation evolve it forward. Y'all were a big step forward, and then these new kids are doing their thing. So it's good to see. I'm happy to be a guest. I'm happy to be invited. I appreciate it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Rock.
Yes. Thank you, Director X.
Thank you.
On episode X of Box Power Sound. Thank you to everybody listening. Shout out Nina Bakes for winning the winter giveaway.
Yeah, girl, come claim your stuff.
Shout out The Closet Inc. You already know. Brought to you by Bel Air. And we'll see you again on episode 11 right here on Box Power Sound, exclusively on Cay Radio. Turn up.